Hello everyone, welcome back. We often talk about infrastructure, right? We talk about bridges, tunnels, skyscrapers. We look at them and say, wow, modern engineering is amazing. But in Chinese culture, we have an old saying, to build a great thing, you must feed the earth. Have you heard of Hitobashira? In Cantonese, we call it Dasangchong, the human pillar. It is an ancient, dark magic. The idea is simple. The land spirits are angry that you are digging into them. So, to calm them down, you have to offer a sacrifice. You take a living person. You bury them inside the concrete foundation. You bury them inside the wall, and their spirit becomes a guardian or a prisoner. You might think, hey, that's ancient history. That doesn't happen in the 20th century. Well, tonight, I am taking you to Hokkaido, the frozen north of Japan. I am taking you to a train tunnel built in 1914. For decades, train conductors reported seeing ghosts on the tracks. They reported seeing blood dripping from the brick walls. People laughed at them. It's just a story, they said. But in 1968, an earthquake shook that tunnel. The walls cracked open, and do you know what fell out? Skeletons, standing up, buried right inside the bricks. Tonight, let's enter the Jomon Tunnel, the tunnel built on human bones. Hokkaido is different from Tokyo. It is wild. It is cold. Even today, there are bears in the forests. In the Meiji era, early 1900s, it was a harsh frontier. The Japanese government wanted to develop it quickly. They needed train lines to move coal and timber. But building a train line through those mountains was impossible. The rock was too hard. The winter was too cold. They needed the Sekihoku main line. And specifically, they needed to dig through the Jomon Pass. This was a dangerous job. Normal workers didn't want to do it. So who did they hire? They didn't hire anyone. They used takobeya laborers. Takobeya means octopus room. It refers to forced laborers, prisoners, debtors, people kidnapped from the streets. They were packed into small rooms, like octopuses in a trap. They couldn't escape. They were treated worse than slaves. They worked 16 hours a day. They had no shoes. They were beaten with sticks if they stopped moving. And if they died, well, digging a grave in the frozen ground takes time, and concrete is expensive. So, why not just mix the body into the wall? Before the truth came out, the Jomon Tunnel was already legendary among Japan Railways, JR staff. Train conductors are tough people. They don't get scared easily. But nobody wanted the night shift on the Sekihoku Line. There were so many reports. Conductors would be driving the train at midnight. The tunnel is pitch black. Suddenly, in the headlights, they would see a man standing on the tracks. A man wearing old, tattered rags, pale skin, hollow eyes. The conductor would slam on the emergency brakes. Screech! The train would stop. The conductor would jump out with a flashlight to check the tracks. Nothing. No body. No blood. Just the cold wind howling through the tunnel. This happened so often that the train company actually had to hold purification rituals. Oh, hooray. They brought Shinto priests to the tunnel to throw salt and chant prayers. Can you imagine that? A modern railway company admitting that their tunnel is so haunted they need an exorcist. There was one specific story that terrified everyone, the story of the running man. They say that if you look out the window of the train while inside the tunnel, you will see a man running alongside the train. Now, trains go fast. A human cannot keep up, but this man, he keeps up. And he is looking at you, and his face looks like it has been crushed. For 50 years, people thought these were just tired workers hallucinating. It's the hypnotic effect of the tunnel lights, they said. It's just the sound of the wind. But the spirits were trying to tell them something. They were trying to say, we are still here. Then came the Tokachi-oki earthquake of 1968. It was a massive quake, magnitude 8.2. The whole island of Hokkaido shook. Roads cracked, buildings fell, and deep in the mountains, the Jomon Tunnel was damaged. Repair crews were sent in to fix the brick walls. They started pulling away the damaged bricks near the entrance, and that is when the horror became real. As they pulled down a section of the wall, a skull rolled out, then a rib cage, then a femur. They found a skeleton, standing upright, encased in the space between the bricks and the rock. And it wasn't just one. As they investigated further, they found more bones. Some theories say there could be dozens, maybe hundreds of bodies buried along that line. The medical examiners looked at the bones. They found signs of extreme violence, fractured skulls, broken limbs that had healed badly. These men weren't killed by the earthquake. They were killed by their overseers. Some of them might have even been buried alive. Think about the Yuan Qi, resentment of that. Imagine being beaten until you can't walk, and then your boss throws you into a hole in the wall. You're still breathing. You watch as they stack the bricks in front of your face, one by one. The light disappears, the air runs out, and then silence for 50 years, listening to the trains rumble past your grave every single day. No wonder they haunt the tracks. They want to stop the train. They want someone to find them. Since the discovery, a memorial monument was built nearby, the Kanjo Monument. It is supposed to honor the laborers who died, but locals say it's not enough. A stone tablet cannot pay for a life. Even today, Jomon Tunnel is considered one of the big three haunted spots in Hokkaido. If you go there now, the atmosphere is heavy. It feels like the air is pressing down on your shoulders. The suicides, because of the dark energy, this place attracts people who want to die. There have been incidents of people walking into the tunnel and never coming out. Locals say the spirits call to them. If you are depressed, if your yang energy is low, the tunnel looks inviting. It looks like a warm embrace. The phone calls. There's a phone box near the Jomon Pass. Just like the Inunaki Tunnel, this phone box has a legend. Drivers say that if you drive past at night, the phone will ring. If you stop and answer, you hear the sound of digging. Clang, clang, clang. Shovels hitting rock, and a voice that says, "It's heavy. It's so heavy." Are they talking about the rocks? Or are they talking about the weight of the concrete on their chests? The hand in the window. This is the most common modern sighting. Passengers on the JR Sekihoku Line are warned. Don't lean your head against the window when going through the tunnel. Why? Because passengers have reported seeing a hand slap the glass from the outside. A dirty, skeletal hand. It leaves a smudge on the glass. Some people say it's the workers trying to get in, trying to catch a ride home. They don't know they are dead. They just know they want to leave this cold, dark place. To understand the horror, we have to look at the humans who did this. The construction companies in the 1910s were brutal. They recruited men by lying to them. Come to Hokkaido. High wages, great food. But once the men arrived, they were stripped of their clothes and put in chains. There was a punishment called the water torture. If a worker was too slow, they would tie him up outside in the winter. Remember, this is Hokkaido, minus 20 degrees. They would pour water over him. The water would freeze instantly. The man would turn into a human icicle. Other workers were forced to watch. "Work harder," the boss would say, "or you will look like him." When a worker died from the cold or exhaustion, they didn't want to report it. Reporting a death meant paperwork. It meant police investigation. So the body became construction material. They believed in the superstition of Hitobashira, that a human sacrifice makes the wall stronger. But really, it was just a convenient way to hide the evidence. This tunnel is literally a crime scene that is 100 years old. I found a story on a Japanese forum from a guy who calls himself Tanaka. He was a university student who loved exploring ruins. He and his friend decided to visit the Jomon Tunnel Memorial at night. He said as soon as they parked the car, the smell hit them. Not a rotting smell, but the smell of iron, like rust or old blood. They walked up to the tunnel entrance. Tanaka said he felt dizzy. His vision started to blur. His friend, who was usually loud and brave, suddenly went quiet. "Hey," the friend whispered. "Do you see them?" Tanaka looked. See who? The people on top of the tunnel. Tanaka looked up at the brick arch of the tunnel entrance. In the moonlight, he saw shadows, not one or two, but a row of them, sitting on the edge of the tunnel, swinging their legs. They looked like dark silhouettes, but then one of them turned its head, and Tanaka saw that it had no face, just a smooth, pale surface. The friend started crying. He dropped to his knees and started apologizing. I'm sorry. We'll leave." Tanaka grabbed him and dragged him back to the car. As they drove away, Tanaka looked in the rearview mirror. He saw the shadows standing up, and he said they were bowing. Not a polite bow, but a mockery, like they were saying, "See you soon." Tanaka said that for weeks after that, he woke up with dirt in his bed every morning, a small pile of cold, dark soil on his pillow. He went to a shrine to get cleansed. The priest told him, "You have grave soil on you. Someone tried to bury you. So, the next time you visit Japan, maybe you buy a JR pass. Maybe you take a scenic train ride through Hokkaido to see the snow. The train is warm. You're drinking hot tea. It is comfortable. But when the train enters a tunnel and the world goes black, take a moment to think. Look at the brick walls flying past your window. Are they just bricks? Or is there something else holding up that roof? The Jomon Tunnel is still in use today. Every day, trains full of people pass through the rib cages of the men who built it. We literally travel through their graves. Does the resentment ever go away? Or does it just wait for the next earthquake to crack the wall again? My advice to you, if you're ever on a train in northern Japan at night, and you see a man running alongside your window, don't look at him. Pull down the blind, put on your headphones, and pretend you don't see the handprints on the glass. Thank you for watching. This world is full of human pillars. We just don't see them until the walls crack. If you liked this story, hit like and subscribe. I'll see you in the dark. Stay safe.